Hey guys, sorry it's been a while since I've done the last did a video, but at the moment life is pretty hectic. For me, the working pattern is the busiest time of year for me working in retail, so it's just been I've been getting home, life's getting in the way. I've had very little time on the bench lately. In fact, today was the first day I've actually managed to get on the bench in over a fortnight, so I haven't got to the stage where I want to with my Tiger build, which I was hoping to get an update done today, so I thought instead I'd do another inbox review for you guys, and specifically being Eduards recently released limited edition Typhoon Mk1 with the bubble canopy. It's the old Hasegawa kit with some extras and Eduards brass etched parts thrown in all together. It does look a lovely kit, I have to say. I got this one in from Nikki at Veteranos Kits, who had it on a special deal, and thank you, Nikki, for that. That's most appreciated. And if you want to check them out, it's on Veteranos Kits, I think .co.uk or .com. Check them out, okay? And yeah, excellent service all the time. Yeah, quite a nice box art illustration you can see here, and at the end there you can see a fallen king tiger, because obviously this was into tank busting and was used specifically well known for the fillet gap when they were trying to pull out and they got encircled by all the allies and the typhoons went in and just virtually obliterated them. So there you go. It was first designed as a replacement for the Hawker Hurricane, but because of its thick wing, it wasn't very successful as a high altitude fighter. So it was then basically impressed into service as a ground attack fighter, which is where it found its niche, as it were. Was best known for tank busting and taking out trains, etc., and was primarily used in the run-up to D-Day, on D-Day and thereafter. So there you go. Had one of the most powerful engines in the Royal Air Force of the time, which was an Napier Sabre engine. And there is word they are going to try and get one back in the air in a few years' time, which will be something to be seen, I have to say. Anyway, without further ado, we'll get on with the review of the kit itself. As I say, you've got a lovely box art illustration of the actual aircraft in one of the schemes that you get in this, because I think there's an option of about 6 different schemes, which you can see on here. Some D-Day birds and also some later in the war. So there's even a nice one there with a shark's teeth on it, as you can see. Kit number on this one, if you still want to get hold of one of these, is 11117. That's 11117. Okay. Again, you've got the box art illustration on the side. As I say, you've got the 4 colour callouts, which you can, well, 6 colour callouts you can see here. It is a limited edition, so get them while they're hot. And on the other side, it just shows you the extras that you get in with the kit by Brassin and Eduard. Okay, right, first off, we'll open the box. If I can get the box open. He says, famous last words. There we go, all done. Inside, you've got one big bag of sprues. Okay, decals, there's your resin aftermarket, and the most important thing is obviously all the etched brass detail, which you can see there. Okay, for the cockpit as well, which is pre-painted, and then you've got your cockpit mask as well. So there we go. So without further ado, what we do as normal is go through the instruction sheet, and then we'll go and have a look at the kit itself. Let's put that to one side for a minute. Again, you got a little history of the actual aircraft itself. Does go into quite some comprehensive detail, and yet again I'm getting notifications when I'm trying to do a video. Deep joy. Should have gone into flight mode, but never mind, done now. Yeah, it gives you quite a comprehensive history on the aircraft itself. And then on the inside you've got your sprue trees, and obviously where you've got the blue areas is where you're not going to need to use those parts, so you can obviously use them for another build sometime in the future. Then you got the colour callouts on the bottom here, which is for Mr. Hobby Colour Aqueous and Mr. Colour Paints. Okay, there you go. Again, if you've got the Hobby Colour app, you can actually source whichever brand of paint you can do and cross-reference it. First off is the control panel itself, is the assembly of that, and then obviously you've got the rudder pedals, which is all your PE, and there's a little bit of etched brass which goes under here. Your PE set goes on the top with the dials, etc. Again, with the seat you've got the backing with the foam, which is etched brass. That all goes together, it's all PE. Side frames which go on the cockpit with your throttle levers, etc. Again, part PE, part kit. Control yoke, which you can see there, it's all PE. Okay. And oops, jumping the gun there. Next part is, if I can get the pages, because this is in quite a thick paper, is to assemble the parts together. Obviously you've got the back, I would assume, wool, which goes there. You've got your throttle pedal levers go there, side panels go together, seat goes on, etc, etc. And more parts go on the side of the panels of the actual fuselage. And then obviously you've got the air filter, which is the front of the air filter there. That then goes all together and buttons up with the fuselage. Okay. And then the next part is part of the air grill again, which goes on the bottom of the actual air grill, as it were, air filter. And then obviously you've got the wing halves which go together, noting that they've got holes for where all the rocket pan and pods go, if you want that option. And then obviously you can cross-reference for whichever one you're doing. Okay, and then the wings go on, tail planes go on. Then the assembly of the undercarriage doors and undercarriage the units as well. Okay, a little bit of PE there, as you can see. And obviously that is then assembled onto under the undercarriage bays in the wings, as it were. And then obviously you've got parts of the air filter which go onto the air filter itself, which is the most notable thing about the Typhoon. And then obviously more parts go on, like lumps and bumps go together. And then obviously you've got the landing lights, clear parts going together. Rocket pods, assembly of those. And then obviously you've got the tyres, which has got a flat spot for weighted wheels, so that's a good thing. And then obviously you put the rocket pod and the cannon pods in, and or bombs, whichever version you're going to do. And then there's the I think that's the gun sight. Yeah, the gun sight goes in. This part I'm not quite sure. I think it's part of the internal workings of the cockpit. And then obviously you've got the assembly of the propeller blades, showing you the measurement there. Nose hub goes on. Okay, and then obviously your propeller goes on, and then obviously you've got the exhaust stacks which go on. Front part of the cockpit, rear part of the canopy, aerial goes on, job done. And then obviously you've got your wheel masks here for when you're masking it up for painting. Okay, now the first version is MN529, flown by Flight Officer Ian Handyside, 184 Squadron, number 129 Wing, RF West Hampnet, Great Britain, June 1944, which obviously is a D-Day variant. And there's a little history about the aircraft itself there. And the next colour call out, if I can find it, number 2 is they've got a spiral colour, a little bit like the Luftwaffe there. Now that is quite unusual, I've not seen that before, and this is of an aircraft MN819, flown by Squadron Leader Jack Collins, DFC 245 Squadron, North Rhodesian Squadron, number 121 Wing, RAF Holmesley South, Great Britain, June 1944, round about D-Day period again. And then the next version, I think, is a little bit later on in the war. In fact, it's earlier. It's around about August 1943. Or am I wrong? No, it's RB431, flown by Wing Commander John Zip Button, DSO DFC, 123 wing, B103, Plantlun, Germany, April 1945. So that's nearer the end of the war. And if you notice here, you've got the white and black spinner, which is quite interesting. And on the inner side doors, you've got that as well. There you go, that's an interesting variant. And the next version is RB207, flown by Flight Officer Bill Beattie, 438, Royal Canadian Air Force Squadron, number 143, Royal Canadian Air Wing, Hunstead, Germany, May 1945, at the end of the war. So there you go, and there's his kill markings as well, so that's quite an interesting variant. And white spinner. And this one with the shark's teeth is MP197 of 245, North Rhodesian Squadron, number 121 wing, 164, Schleswig, Germany, June 1945, which is after the war. And I quite like that checkered marking on the back there. Very nice. And then there's your added extras that you've got as well. So there you go. So let's have a look at the main crux of the kits, the kit parts themselves. Now the only thing is, this isn't a self-opening bag, so I'm going to have to open one side, so bear with me a minute. As I say, this is based on the old Hasegawa kit, I think. I'll get it out and have a look at it. Here we got the cockpit parts, if I can get it into focus. Nice and clear, as you can see there. Very precise landing lights, etc. That is going to come up beautifully, it really is. And with a bit of masking, it will come out fantastically. So I'm pretty happy with that. And then obviously we've got the fuselage halves there, or one of them. Nice panel line detail, which you can see here. Very crisp and clean, which is normally Hasegawa's normal sort of spec, as it were. Then you've got the main part of the air filter there with a grill, rear nose wheel, and then parts of the undercarriage to bay doors themselves. A little bit basic, but as I say, you've got some extra brass which will go in nicely with that. Not much detail on the interior of the cockpit, but obviously that will come with the PE. Lower wing. Again, nice detail on the undercarriage bay doors. Nice panel lines which will come up very nice with a wash. A lovely crisp and clear, as you can see right there. Okay, and then obviously you've got the rear bulkhead for the seat. Now unfortunately you've got injection mold marks, which is going to be a bind, so if you can see that, yeah, as you can see there, you've got injection mold marks, so you're just going to have to fill that in and sand it. So hey ho. Has its good points and its bad points, but there you go. I think this is only going to be the only bad point. Then you've got the upper wings, again, lovely crisp details, you can see there. Exhaust stacks, but I might well drill them out. And then part the side panel into the canopy, and there's your bomb pods right there, bomb racks as it were. Okay, and there's your rocket pods, as you can see there, and your rockets on the side here. If I can get that to focus, come on, focus, there you go. Nice level of detail again, crisp and clear, beautiful. Again, more rocket pods, again nice, crisp and clear, as you can see there. Looks quite a nice, easy assembly as well. Little bit of detail on the upper part of the interior of the cockpit. I don't know if you can see that. See if I can get it in the light a bit more. There you go, little bit of detail there. And then obviously you've got wheels which are nicely flat spotted to give you that definition of weight of the aircraft, because it was quite a bulky aircraft. In fact, I've seen the one at Hendon which has just been reassembled and pulled back there. So yeah, it's a beast. Tell you what, I can't wait to see the airworthy one when it gets flying. But again, you've got some nice detail there for the side frames. Exhaust stacks there. Oh, maybe that's for another variant. Don't know. Tail planes, again, nice panel line detail there. Nicely done. And there's your propeller blade. Nice, crisp and clear. Beautiful detail on that. Nice nose hub there as well. Very nicely done. And then you've got parts of the interior of the cockpit here. There's your control panel, which you can see there. As I say, you can use the alternative etched brass units, and then obviously you've got the part for your rudder pedals at the bottom. Side panels, that's your seat, pedals there. Side frames for the actual cockpit. All nicely done. There you go. Right, I'm going to put that all back in its bag so I don't lose it. Looks as though it's going to be a fairly straightforward build. And I do believe that they've just recently released the Mark V Tempest now. I've got my eye on that one as well. Yeah. You can't have one without the other, can you, really? There you go. So I'm just going to pop these all back in, as I do. And I might well have this as a build possibly for the new year. What with the 75th anniversary of D-Day coming up in June. There you go. That goes back in there. We're nearly there. Right, that's the main part of the kit done. Let's pop that aside. Now in here we've got all our resin parts. It's mainly the tail planes, and let's get it out and have a look. Yeah, here you go. Not quite sure what that's supposed to be, whether that's part of the air filter or not, or part of the actual propeller screw hub, I'm not sure. And then obviously you've got the main hub of the propeller, as you can see there. Nice level of detail, beautifully cast, very nice. And then obviously you've got the hub there, propeller hub. That's going to take some cutting to get off, I must admit. And then obviously you got your tail planes there with some nice sort of stressed skin effect on there. If I can get it focus, you can see very nice level of detail on that. And then obviously you got your propeller blades right here. Might need a little bit of touching up on them with a sander possibly, but nice all the same. So I'm going to put them all back in their bag so we don't lose them. It's a resealable bag as well, which is good. There we go. As I say, I don't want to damage these, so it's best to keep them in there really. And the good thing is you can reseal it, so that's that job done. Decals, I'm not going to get them out of the bag, but again I assume these are actually produced by, yeah, in fact they are produced by Cartograph, so they're going to bed down beautifully, so there won't be any problems with those. Also, as I say, you've got your mask for your canopy, so that's going to go down well. And then there's all your grills, backing for the seat on the etched brass set, etc. So it's beautifully, crisply, clearly produced. That led greatly to the interior. And then obviously you've got your control column, which is already pre-painted for you, so that's going to save you a lot of time and a lot of hassle. So there you go. Altogether, this does look as though it's going to build into a beautiful model, I have to say. It is limited edition, so if you want to get hold of them, I would snap them up quick. because after that they're going to go to ridiculous prices. So yeah, up to Eduards' usual high standard. Oh hello, I've left a part out. Oops. Put that back in there. See what I mean with saving your parts? I don't know what that's about, part of the hub. I've better hold on to that. Pop it back in. Reseal it. He says. That's it, got it. Right, so there you go. That is Eduards' recently released limited edition Typhoon Mk1B, and I would wholeheartedly recommend that you snap one up and get hold of them damn quick. Anyway, that's it for now, guys. So until the next time, get kit crazy, happy modelling, and I'll speak to you soon. Cheers.